Alright everyone, we are back with the first war of Season 29, Untouchables Global. I will be taking in Human Torch, Mr. Negative, and Shang-Chi. I have Path 4 in Section 1 and Path 9 in Section 2, one middle mini-boss. So Path 4, Section 1 here, I'm actually going to use Shang-Chi for both fights. No real game plan with Kingpin other than paying attention to the fact that debuffs will get shrugged. So we cannot reliably fight with a stun from either the Wushu or from parry. So the game plan when it comes to resetting Wushu with a heavy is to either retaliate his heavy with our heavy or retaliate his SP1. Nothing on this node is too worrisome for Shang-Chi. He has really high crit chance. I mean, it's guaranteed with his special too. So the reduced crit chance from the debuff on this node isn't going to affect it. On top of that, I kind of want to do the Shrug Wushu for this fight just to get that added Fury bonus there, like we did there at the start. And I guess I thought I was out of range there, or I thought I blocked and he just ignored that. So yay boosting. And there you see me retaliating the SB1. Good intercept there. Going to keep shrugging just so that we can keep the Fury up as much as possible. But you're going to see this is a pretty smooth fight. I'm taking every opportunity to retaliate with the heavy, even if I've only done one Wushu. And here we drop the SB2 with only 4 chi charges. So he's pretty much gone. We're just focusing on not getting hit. We're at a full yellow bar. He's willingly throwing these SB1s. We're not having to bait very long, and down he goes. So nice and easy fight, except for the one little missed block. Moving on for this to this Terrax. This is the one I actually brought Shang-Chi for. We're going to focus on the debuff Shrug Wushu so that we can avoid insult to injury and reducing our ability accuracy for each debuff. And you're going to see it's not a perfect system, but the key here is to just not panic. See there, I wasn't expecting to land a parry. Gonna try and shrug some debuffs here. We got rid of all of them, so now our ability accuracy is in the green. Don't have anything to worry about. Went ahead and reset the Wushu. Gonna retaliate this SB1 with the heavy. Gonna go ahead and shrug. And then we're gonna lay on the stun Wushu. And that'll put us right at SB2, and this will finish it. So, nice and smooth fight. Shang-Chi did what he needed to, and he's not getting used later in the war, so we're not worried about the health loss there. So, pretty safe fight as long as you're thinking ahead about your moves for that fight. Moving on to this Professor X on Power Snack. I was a little concerned here with Human Torch. I'm not using the pre-fight because I kind of want it later. But the goal here is to bait out SB1 anytime he's got it. Obviously take some blocked hits. We're going to parry and heavy just so that we can get our temperature up so that we don't have to deal with miss. But what you're going to see is with the power gain from both Power Snack, Backup Recovery, and the miss that we don't take as many blocked hits as I'd like. You can't always block his SB1 because it, like right there, it shows up unblockable. So you just want to plan to dex it. Obviously blocking that SB1 will help with our temperature, which will help with miss. So you just have to be really smart here, mainly for when he's at 50% in backup recovery hits. If you manage to cause miss and he builds power to SB2, that's not the end of the world, as his SB2 is actually pretty easy to dodge or outrange, and you're going to see that. The main concern is making sure he's just not at 2 bars of power when you get him to the 50%. So you'll see here, there's backup recovery. So just a little over 2 bars. Now we're going to bait this out. But our temperature is below 10, so miss is going to trigger. And therefore the global untouchables, so he's going to power gain from it. So it's a really, really, especially now, a really slow fight. I'd like to block more, but that's less specials being thrown. Plus me having to dodge a heavy if he decides to throw it, and therefore triggering Power Snack when I don't want it to happen. So we just have to be mindful of all these things. I am very curious to try Mr. Negative next time, just because we won't have to deal with the power snack. And at some point we can reduce the backup recovery. The only thing we'd have to worry about is the miss and the power gain from the miss. But at least you know when it's coming against Professor X, so you can plan for it. As in, if he's got 2 bars of power, I'm not going to go swing at him when his miss is up. I'm going to get those 2 bars out first, and then I'll go swing at him. So, but as you can see here, it seems to be a safe fight, just a long fight. Like I said, less block attacks than I wanted. Blocked attacks than I wanted, so lower smolder than any normal node with Professor X. He's not going to be a problem for Human Torch anywhere else, really. He's not even a problem here. So I believe it ends it. I end it right here. It's at 5%. I go, let's just do it. I haven't been hit. The invulnerability boost from my first fight this war is still active. So if I do get pushed, or if I do push into an SP3 and don't knock him out, then at least we can tank it. So down he goes. Smooth section 1 so far. All right, moving on to section 2. I'm going to take this Dragonman with Human Torch, and I've already placed the pre-fight and backed out of the game so that I know it's there when I enter the fight. I decided to use the pre-fight for Dragonman instead of Maw, just because I want the Dragonman fight to end ASAP. That power gain buff can be tricky to get rid of if he decides to hold his specials, and then an SP3 gets me cornered with him with an unblockable buff, and he does more damage when you're cornered. So if I don't have an SP3 loaded and he throws an SP3, even if I use an invulnerability boost, there's still a chance that I'm going to get wrecked right after it. So I decided to use a pre-fight. So you're going to see me middle of the field like I usually do versus Stun Reflect is full 5-hit combos instead of just medium, light, medium, to push him back to his wall so that I don't get cornered. And luckily he's being really friendly after every 5-hit combo and throwing his SP1. So there I decided to do medium, light, medium because I wanted to get that SP1 out, making sure till the last moment to dodge his SB1 because I won't trigger Dex on that last hit, and taking the block hits, build smolders. So this Maw fight got a little interesting. I think he was being a pain about his special attacks. So let's watch it together to review. I don't know why for this fight I just didn't think about doing a full 5-hit combo to back him up. Probably because I didn't feel like I'd get cornered by Maw, or I thought it would end fast enough that I wouldn't have to worry about it. So you're going to see me medium like a lot. And he just wants to throw that heavy. There we go. Yep, in a perfect plan, perfect fight. I'm going to take the first 2 hits of that SP1. That's what it was. I'm going to take the first 2 hits of that SP1 and back out for the last 2 without triggering dexterity. The problem was he kept using them while I was at range, so I couldn't use the SB1 to build temperature. So what you're going to see is near the end, my temperature is going to drop below 10. Here we go. And that means miss is going to come into play. So there's miss. Luckily saw it coming, blocked. Then he did that little I whiffed. I'm going to wait for you to attack. I shouldn't have attacked. And now it just goes down. So even with a few errors, just because of the way the AI plays, still managed to come out on top on that one without much difficulty. I'm just happy I didn't parry him. Moving on, Mr. Negative versus Mojo on node 47. You guys have seen me take this plenty of times. Parrying a lot here to build energy. Not worrying about prompts too much because I've got a counter to degen, so even if we do trigger it through a buff, we'll be fine. Just trying to make sure that I can build some light energy before getting to SP2. You'll see there I thought I was out of range, which is great. Now I don't need to evade counter. And now we're at 10. I'm gonna let the indestructible wear out just a little bit. But as you can see, this is gonna push him over SB2, which is fine. Just means we have to be prepared for it and block it. And because he's got the double petrify, we're not worried about a power gain from kinetic transference. So and he's pretty much gone. Not gonna retaliate that. Gonna throw this into his block to do as much as we can. He's at 1%, and boom, easy peasy. So pretty chill war for me for the first war. BG1 did a great job. Got a donut for the first war. It's great compared to their 4, which was kind of out of character for them. But we ended up losing this. I think we actually died one more time on that last fight. So it was 4-6. So not a good start for New Nation. Traditionally, we usually have bad starts in either the first or second war. But one BG just died 5 times this war. So hopefully we can clean it up early in the season. One loss isn't going to kill us. We'll just go ahead and bounce back. Thanks for stopping by. Keep your eyes out for the next one.